Hi, friends. If you're cruising soon on the MSC Seashore, or perhaps you're just thinking about it, you might be wondering what dining options you'll have available to you. Food is a really big deal when deciding on a cruise to take because you're kind of stuck, right? On sea days, you really limited to only what's on board. And so it's really, really important to know what you're getting yourself into. It's not like a port day where you can grab a meal at a restaurant on land. So rest assured, I've got you covered. I'm going to cover all of the dining options in today's video. I'm going to tell you all about the restaurants on board, and also make sure you stay tuned to the very end because I have two places on the ship where you can get a meal, even though they're not really listed or considered a restaurant. It's very surprising. Also, in addition to those two hidden gems, I'm going to tell you about a dining hack that will elevate your breakfasts and lunches on the seashore that most people don't even realize until maybe the end of their cruise or after they get home. They find out, like on Facebook or something, that they missed out. So here's a side note. I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to video editing. I do want to show you videos of our meals on the seashore. I can't promise my editing is going to be super great, but stick with me because I'm learning, and at least you'll get an idea of what to expect, right? What I'm really hoping to do is help you make a decision and help you prepare for your cruise. With that said, let's first talk about the main dining rooms. The Seashore has four main dining rooms. They are the Fifth Avenue, Tribeca, Central Park, and the Manhattan. If you are booked into a Bella or Fantastica experience, you'll be assigned a specific table, a specific time in the Fifth Avenue, Tribeca, or Central Park restaurant. The seating times start around 5:30 and end around 9:30. And you'll have to be on time or at least no more than 15 minutes late, because if you're late, they'll turn you away. The dining room really need to stick to their schedule so that they can have, the first round of diners cleared out for the next round of people. And you'll know your assigned dining time and location when you get your cruise card on embarkation day. If you find that you prefer an earlier or later time than you were assigned, that's okay. They will help you. There's usually a table set up somewhere on the ship. You can stand in line and ask them to change your dining time. If you decide even after a few days that you'd like to change your dining time, you might even be able to do that. Just ask the dining room manager. It really just depends on how full the ship is and, how they've got things set up for that week. They do try to accommodate those requests. I really think they do try to make everybody happy. Now, if you've booked an ARIA experience, you will be assigned to the Manhattan dining room. And you have anytime dining, which means you can just show up whenever it's convenient for you within that designated dining hours. So let's talk about the food quality in the main dining room. The menu and the food quality is the same in all of the dining rooms. The only thing that's different is the decor and maybe the size. Some of them are bigger than others. Overall, I would say the food in the main dining rooms is actually pretty good. There were a few dishes that we thought were terrible, but that was on our first sailing. And since then, I haven't seen those particular items on the menu. So we're not even going to talk about those. I don't want to be negative. I just want to be, well, not, I don't want to, I want to be realistic. And those items aren't on the menu anymore. So I feel like the MSC is really stepping up their game when it comes to food. There are a few dishes that we really enjoyed. For example, I loved the ceviche appetizer, the conch fritters. My husband liked some of the steaks. We had some spicy shrimp pasta. Also, most of the fish dishes were really good. One thing that was unexpected, though, and I hope will be different when we board again in a few weeks. I expected, since MSC is an Italian company, I expected some amazing Italian desserts. The tiramisu kind of just tasted like what I get from my local Publix, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine. It's totally fine. But I expected mind-blowing Italian desserts, and that's not what we got. However, I do know of a place on board where you can get a mind-blowing Italian dessert, and I'm going to tell you about that later. But we're going to stay with the main dining room. So with that said, if there's something you order and you don't like it, or they bring you the wrong thing, or it's not cooked well, you can always send it back. So don't worry about that. We had to do that the first night on our first cruise. My husband did not get the steak that he ordered. He got a prime rib. So He sent it back and they brought him exactly what he ordered after that. Another thing that I've heard about the main dining rooms on the MSC Seashore is a lot of people say that the portion sizes are too small. And I've got to say, I really, really disagree. Usually, by the time we leave dinner each night, we're absolutely stuffed so much that my children were actually turning down dessert. Can you imagine? So, I mean, we felt like the portion sizes were great so much that my children wait. If you feel like they're too small for you, and which is fine, there's a few ways you can fix that. You can order extras of anything on the menu. Extra appetizers and desserts will be free, but if you order an extra entree, you do need to pay $5. So my husband, I think, was ordering like 2 appetizers a few of the nights whenever they had something special. Now, if you're looking for a more casual dining experience, or you miss dinner, we've done that. You can go to the Marketplace Buffet. That is on deck 16, and it has a little bit of everything. Unlike other cruise lines that spread their dining options across multiple venues, MSC just kind of puts everything all in one area. So I actually think that's really convenient. You just go to one place. They have hot dogs, burgers, your typical American staples. There's always an Asian dish. There's salad and salad fixings. There's pastas, multiple kinds of pastas, multiple meats and fishes, and all kinds of lots of things. I actually noticed that the lunch meat, it's like lunch meat and cheeses were very high quality and different from what we normally get at a buffet here in the United States. So I think that has something to do with MSC's European influence. The cheese, the bread. The bread is also amazing. Again, that's probably got something to do with MSC being an Italian company. The bread, the meats, the cheeses, things like that were just really, really good. So we can't talk about the buffet without talking about the star of the buffet, which is the pizza. MSC is known for having some of the very best pizza at sea, and it is really, really good. I grew up in an area where we had a lot of like really great small family-owned Italian restaurants and pizza shops. I mean, they were everywhere. And MSC Pizza actually reminds me of that. No shade to like Papa John's or Domino's or whatever, but if you have ever had pizza from a family-owned mom and pop pizza shop, you know that is the best. And the MSC pizza kind of reminds me of the pizza I had growing up in Pittsburgh. The buffet also, it can get crowded, but here's a pro tip. If you walk all the way to the back, the lines are shorter and you'll find more variety. I've actually read reviews where people say the food's the same every day on the buffet. That's not true. They just didn't take the time to walk around and see what all was actually there. If you have small children, there's a kids only section with kid friendly foods at a kid height, even has like a little kid entrance for them to walk through so they don't have to wait in long lines to get their favorite foods. Okay, so let's talk about the specialty restaurants. In addition to the main dining room and the buffets, you also have the option of dining at the specialty restaurants. These are all located on deck 8 in an area called the Chef's Court. You'll find a steakhouse, a seafood restaurant, teppanyaki, Mexican, and sushi restaurants. And I think I have some links to some of the menus from some of these, if not all of the specialty dining options. So I'm going to put those in the description. I can't promise anything. So if they aren't there, then that just means I couldn't find them for you. First, let's talk about Kaito Sushi. It's a must visit if you are a sushi lover. It's so much fun because the sushi is served on a conveyor belt. Each plate has a different color and each color has a designated price. And at the end of the meal, the staff just looks at your plates and tallies up your total based on the colors of the plates. I think sometimes there's a special where you can do like all you can eat sushi for 45 minutes for a set price. And I've heard that's really good. Around the corner, there is Kaito Teppanyaki. My family and I, we had one of our best meals there. It's such a fun experience. It's way more fun than the hibachi restaurants we have at home, which are fun, but this was better. It's a multi-course meal. I think we had sushi, shrimp, salmon, steak, fried rice, soup, and dessert and salad. The chefs were so entertaining. We were so lucky because some of the chefs during our dinner hour, they were singing pop songs through the meal, and it was so much fun. People were singing along, and it was just a really fun vibe. If you like Mexican, there's Ola Tacos and Cantina that serves up really great Mexican food. There's tacos and nachos and all kinds of things that, you know, what you're used to for Mexican. It's $17.99 per person, and it's an all-you-can-eat menu. And I've heard it's fantastic. We didn't try it because we eat Mexican here where we live almost at least once a week, and we have amazing Mexican restaurants here. But I did try a margarita, and it was absolutely amazing. I will be going back on our next cruise. So then we have the Butcher's Cut, which is an American style steakhouse. They serve premium steak cuts that you cannot get in the main dining room. Plus they have like chicken and seafood and appetizers and sides. We didn't eat there, but I've heard it's amazing. And if you're looking for seafood, there is Ocean Cay or Ocean Key, depending on how you pronounce it. It's got an amazing array of seafood options, but there are not other options like Butcher's Cut. If you're a steak eater, if you're not into steak and you want to go to the Butcher's Cut with your husband who likes steak, that's fine. But if you're not into seafood, do not go to Ocean Cay because that's pretty much all they have. The appetizers, the mains, and the appetizers and the mains are all seafood. I don't think there was anything that was for a non-seafood eater. The sides are maybe not seafood, but you don't want to go there, spend all that money just for side dishes. And the desserts obviously were not seafood. But so it's, you know, if you really want to make sure everybody in your party likes seafood, if you're going to go eat at Ocean Cay, the menu looks absolutely amazing. And I've heard wonderful things about it. We just haven't tried it yet. Okay, now earlier I told you I would tell you where you can get an amazing dessert. That would be the Vinci Coffee Bar on Deck 6. They do serve coffee, but there's also a chocolatier on board. They have gelatos, sundaes, handmade chocolate, cocktails, everything. If you need a little pick-me-up or you're looking for that amazing after-dinner dessert, I highly suggest going there. Yeah, the menu has different sundaes on it. We had a tiramisu sundae one night, my daughter and I. And then I like to get the affogato, which is like the gelato with espresso poured over top. It is so good. That is where I recommend going if you're really interested in a mind-blowing dessert. They also have another Vinci location, which is just gelato, and that is up on the pool deck. I think that's on deck 8. It's not always open, but they'll have popsicles and gelato, and you can just enjoy that by the pool. It's a really fun experience, and the gelato is actually, you want to talk about an amazing Italian dessert, it's going to be the gelato for sure. Okay, so also what I promised at the beginning was that I would tell you about the 2 hidden gems that people don't realize you can actually have a meal, even though these are not really advertised as restaurants. The first one is the Brooklyn Cafe. They offer complimentary baked goods like muffins and pastries in the morning. It's all set up in there, and you can get your coffee. My husband was loving going down there in the morning and getting protein shakes and specialty coffees for us to bring back to the room. And he would also get those, get the pastries, and you can just help yourself. They'll have it sitting out on a table. And then later on in the day, sometimes they have like a bakery case on the counter where you can get those things. It's more like a continental breakfast. Nothing hot will be there. It's like pastries and stuff. So if that's your idea of breakfast, you can get a breakfast meal there. And I think it is lovely. It's way better than waiting at the buffet if you're only wanting to get a small bite to eat. My other hidden gem is the sports bar. They do serve food here. It's not included in your cruise fare, but they have burgers, nachos, wings, and fries, apple pie even. So whatever you're used to eating at your local sports bar, you can probably get it at the sports bar on the MSC Seashore. Like I said, it's not included. There is an extra cost, but I don't think it's very expensive. And the food actually looks really good. Now, another option for dining on the seashore is room service. Anyone can order room service, but if you're booked in Fantastica, you can order continental breakfast room service completely free. I do tip though, so it's not really free, but that's okay. What I like to do is I take my little table that's in the room and I put it by the door, and then put my room card out. And if they bring me my coffee and my room service, continental breakfast in the morning before I'm fully awake, I can just open the door, grab the tray and put it down, and then hand them their tip without too much hassle. So I like to have coffee first thing in the morning when I wake up. So that really works out good for me. My husband can, he has the ability to like get dressed and leave the room without coffee, whereas I need my coffee before I leave the room. So this really works out for me. Now, with room service is also available 24/7. In the breakfast time, you can order other foods. The only complimentary breakfast food is going to be your continental breakfast, which is like pastries and fruit, nothing hot. I think there's a yogurt if you're looking for some kind of like protein with your free continental breakfast. You can order eggs, omelets, and things like that. Those do have a fee, but it's minimal. And that way you can eat in private in your pajamas if you would like I do, and have your coffee before you, go out and deal with people. But room service is available 24 hours, and they also serve for like lunches and dinners or any other time of day. You can get a whole pizza, you can get salads, steaks, desserts, sandwiches, soups. The menu in the room service is not the same as the dining room. So don't think if, like let's say you see grilled swordfish on the menu and the dining room menu and you really want it, but can't you don't want to have it in the dining room. You're not going to get that delivered by room service. It has a set menu separate from the main dining room. I can see a situation where maybe if you're on your honeymoon or just a romantic getaway where you might want to order room service and have a nice little romantic steak dinner out on your balcony. I think that would be lovely. The only problem with that may be if you don't really get what you like or they make a mistake, you can't really send it back as easily. So keep that in mind when you're ordering your room service meals. Okay, I've got one more dining hack, the last dining hack I promised you that many people don't realize. You can eat breakfast in the main dining room and you don't have to go to the buffet. A lot of people think that they can only eat in the main dining room for dinner. But if you can get up on time and get out the door on time, breakfast is served in the main dining room. It's not an assigned table. You don't go to your regular assigned table. You have to check the hours, and it's on the seashore. It will be in the Central Park restaurant. So you'll check the hours for breakfast and lunch, and you will just arrive at the Central Park restaurant. They will seat you at a table with other people. And I think this is a great way to meet other people on the cruise without actually committing to sitting with strangers every night for a whole week. We've met some wonderful people, breakfasts and lunches in the main dining room. On sea days, it really, I think breakfast starts in the morning and extends till about 1:30, and that would be their sea day brunch, which is fantastic. I've got a couple of pictures from brunch that I can show you. I'll add those here. Also, what a lot of people don't know is that on disembarkation day, you can go to the Central Park dining room and eat breakfast there before you leave. You don't have to go to the buffet with all your luggage and go through all that hassle dealing with crabby people that didn't want to get up in the morning and everyone's trying to eat at the same time. Go to the Central Park. You can park your luggage in they'll have areas where you can stick your luggage while you eat. You sit down, you have a nice slow breakfast while you wait to disembark the ship. And it is lovely. I mean, it's sad because you're leaving, right? But it is a really great way to end your cruise. So I think I covered everything. I hope I covered everything. If you have any questions or any input, like if you want to tell me what was your favorite meal on the seashore, or if any hacks that I don't know about that I haven't figured out yet, please let me know because I'll be on the seashore 2 more times this year, in addition to several other trips we have planned for different places. I'm going to Panama City Beach coming up soon. I will be in Pigeon Forge several times this year, Memphis, Tupelo, Mississippi. Anything. If you want to share anything with me about any of those locations, please feel free to do so. Also, please like and subscribe and share this with any friends who might be joining you on a cruise. They may want to watch this video and get some ideas about what the dining is like on the seashore as well. So thank you so much, and I hope you are having a wonderful week and happy Valentine's Day.